Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, and welcome to yet another video. This time on The Witcher 3, I'm testing FSR 3. Right now, I'm not using FSR 3, and we are running at the low settings, basically the low settings preset, with FSR 2 performance. And I do have sharpening set to high, and it actually looks pretty good on FSR 2 performance with high sharpening and stuff, especially on the screen, on the Steam Deck screen. So. And you can see all the settings here, basically low settings, but I do have motion blur and all these things on, so hey, it is what it is. And I have VSync off, I have maximum frame rate set to unlimited, and I also have disabled the frame rate. I haven't done that, I guess. I'm gonna do it right now. Let's actually make sure. I was using a profile before. Let's turn off everything. There we go. And we disabled the maximum frame rate limit. This will allow us to go beyond the frame rate cap that this game usually has. And I mean, it's not really much. I mean, if you look up, you can go to like 70s, no, 68 something, but yeah. But right now I'm outside of Novigrad, and the game is actually running pretty well. It's at, basically around 60 FPS out here, and 57, 56. Pretty good, but but we're going to go to Novigrad, and this is a pretty intense city. It's mostly CPU bound, really, instead of GP bound. So that's an interesting sort of comparison. And you can see already dropping down to 47. Yeah. So 47, 46, 48. And yeah, there's a lot of NPCs, lots of AI. Pretty good overall. Looks really beautiful too, especially this time. Looks amazing. And yeah, there it is. So this is the Hierarch Square. This has got to be one of the more intensive areas, or the most intensive areas actually, I would say, in this game. And it really kills your FPS in this area. It becomes more so CPU bound than anything else. So if I'm, you can see we're already like 40s, and if I look over in this direction specifically, we start dropping quite a lot. Like we drop to like 30s, 37, even 39 is usually what we get in 38, 39. Yeah. So it's pretty intensive, and if you were to lock your game to 40 FPS and 40 hertz, it's unfortunately not going to be able to maintain that because of this area in particular, as I said. So, but all in all, not bad. It actually feels really good, latency wise, responsiveness wise, very smooth, very responsive, very much like it. And the effects don't seem to do much too. Like if I were to do this and stuff, it's not really much. Oh, the guards are there, so I guess they're gonna get upset. And you could like do like this kind of stuff too. You can see the FPS are comparable, with and without it. It does reduce it. Like we're getting 48, 50, and then if you do it, now it dropped to 42. Yeah, so without it, it's like 52, 50. Like looking in this direction from there, So yeah, the effects no doubt have quite a bit of performance cost, and they are going to drop your FPS probably most likely in intensive battle situations where you're using a lot of effects on screen and whatnot. A lot of signs and stuff, like if I'm looking over here, oh, there's a stutter there. I use this, there's a big stutter. I'm not sure if that was just a one-time off or not. If I use this, there isn't really much of a difference. Okay, so the fire sign is like the more intensive, especially this one. Not the one-off. The one-off is okay. Yeah, that's okay. If you're holding it, then it's like, yeah. So that's just like one or two of the things, Can I attack this target? What? Okay, I wasn't trying to attack a target. Oh, I said the guards. Oh, okay, well, there you go. I think we're probably gonna... I mean, I mean, what they say, the best, defense is, I don't know, the best offense? I don't really know what they say, honestly. I can't remember. Was it like the best defense is the best offense? Something like that. But anyways, you can, even if you don't hit them, they're kind of gonna kill themselves, really. So it's okay. It's not my fault, probably. Okay. But yeah, that's a pretty good build, by the way, This is the bear school, and oh god, I might die though. But hey, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, you know, overall it runs pretty well. You can see we're like, and we get to like 40s. We drop to a nice 40 FPS right there, you know. And overall, it's a pretty good experience, I'd say. And there you go. There you have it. That was the ultimate battle experience. We did see like 36. You can see 36 in that direction right now. 37. Yeah, that's basically it for the non-FSR benchmark, I would say. I wasn't planning on. Okay, yeah, fire hurts. Who would have thought? Anyways, not me. I would not have actually thought that. Apparently. Anyhow, that's about it. Let's move on to the FSR 3 frame gen benchmarks next. Okay, so here we are on the Steam Deck, and we're going to take a look on how to install the FSR 3 mod for The Witcher 3. And you basically need quite a few things for this one. So first of all, you have the mod itself. So I have the 0.8 version of the mod by Luke. And you want to open up the archive. And then you also want to go to your games folder. So you want to go to your library. And, oops. Okay. Sorry, having some hiccups apparently with this because I'm streaming this over. You want to go to your game, manage, and browse local files. So right click this, yeah. And here you want to go to the bin folder, the x64 dx12 folder, and this is where you will see your witcher3.exe file. This is where you want to take the mod. The Witcher 3 uses the FSR 2.0 version, so we'll be using this one. And we will just get these 4 files, so this for this specific game, drag and drop them in the folder, and that's it. And we also need to actually get the enable fake GPU option. So just open this up, drag and drop this right here as well, and we're done, right? Lastly, we also need to go to our game, right click in properties, and we need these launch options right there, WINEDLL overrides. This will be in the description. You can just copy paste it, and that's it. So the game does seem to have issues if you run it. So you need to go to compatibility, check this box for the compatibility tool, and you need to use GE Proton. So I believe any version from 8.20 and above works. I'm personally using this. In order to get this, you probably won't see it here. In order to get this, you need to go to the Discover Store and download Proton Up QT. Once you have this, you simply need to download the GE Proton version, as you can see right here. You can just click Add Version. And you can download the latest one, or you can just download a specific one if you're not sure, from anywhere from 8.20, 8.25. This is what I'm using. Just download it, click Install. Once it's done, restart your Steam because it might not show up on your Steam. And after that, you can go here, check this box, and you will see it here in the list. And that's it. You can just select it, and you're done. And your game should work just fine, just like that. Okay, so we're back now with The Witcher 3 on FSR 3. And as you can see on my settings, video, graphics, I'm running in DLSS, performance this time around, and pretty much everything else is the same. Low settings, not really any difference. And I do have DLSS frame generation on in the display settings as well. So right here, we're getting, 98 FPS, 90 to 100. It's kind of fluctuating. 98, 100. That's a pretty big jump from like 57 to like, from like around 60 to like this much. It's pretty big, I'd say. And it feels very smooth, but it's kind of it's not consistent. Like I can feel the stutters and stuff. It's like it's kind of stuttery. It has some frame skips. I'm not sure we can fix that. Latency wise, actually doesn't feel bad, but I can tell there's some latency. You know, like it's not like instant either, but I think it's very manageable with the controller especially. And this game is pretty good. It plays pretty good with the controller. You cannot turn on VSync, so I guess that's not really possible. I do have system level VSync turned off right now, but we're gonna take a look at that with this at the end as well. So right now, if we go back to Novigrad and we go to the hierarch square, let's see how the performance really goes. And you can see it's kind of a stuttery. It's okay. It's not really a good, really seamless, consistent experience, but it's honestly not that bad either. Do know these are fake frames, so before someone starts comparing them with real frames, no, it doesn't feel like the game is actually running at 80 FPS. Not at all. The responsiveness is not the same. The consistency doesn't make it any better either. So yeah, it does feel like low FPS, but it just looks smoother. I just want to point that out. So unless you're running at 60 FPS plus consistently, I would probably say you need more than 60 FPS to get a better input lag in terms of frame generation. But yeah, it seems to be subjective to people. So, but yeah, here you go. Here we are in the hierarch square, and you can see we're dropping to like 60s, 70s. Not that bad actually, but the stuttering has gotten progressively worse. You can see the frame time too. It's not joking. The big lines I'm talking, like those huge spikes suddenly, that actually like you can feel that. That's not just the frame graph going crazy because of frame gen, and I'm not really sure why that's the case. But there you go. That's something very not fun. So I want to actually try out something. We're going to try out turning on the full overlay so we can actually see what's going on here. And let's try to use the manual clock and see if we can maybe lock it at like 1200 or something. So now it's locked at 1200 with the GPU. Let's see if that helps at all. I'm not sure if I should already make a judgment, but it has helped a lot actually. Yeah, it has helped a lot. Those huge spikes have just disappeared completely. I don't know if you can tell, but yeah, it's far more consistent, and it's actually playable without VSync. Like, this is not bad. So if you lock your GPU to 1200, seems to get the job done really well, actually. Frames seem very consistent too. You can see it does drop from 70s to the high 60s, or even the mid 60s, but that's basically the lowest you've seen here. And yeah, so that's one thing to do, keep in mind. Another thing is we can also turn on system level VSync by basically just having this toggle off, and now it's going to be locked to 60 FPS. And this is extremely smooth. I'm not sure if the camera is picking up. This is extremely smooth, right? Very consistent, very smooth. I'm actually going to turn off the manual GPU clock just so you can get the full image of it. So this is extremely smooth. Now we did got some spikes. So we're still getting spikes without the GPU clock. So you can see the GPU clock does smooth out the frame times. Like you can see that there's some hiccups in here and there, right? But if I were to turn on the manual GPU clock, bam, no hiccups. Okay, there's still a hiccup. Instantly got like debunked. But very, very nice. Really love this. Yeah, I would say this is but the latency, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but like, look at that, man. Just look at that. It's so much. It feels so much. It's playable with the controller, don't get me wrong. Especially with a game like this. This game, I mean, it can require fast reactions in combat, I would say, yeah. But overall, like, you can definitely play like this. But if you do turn it off, disable the frame limit, it actually is very playable. The latency is much better. Much better. If I'm being honest, there is still some latency, but it's so much better. And not only that, if you have the GPU locked, like I mentioned, to 1200, it's actually very consistent. The frame time spikes are not that bad either. I'm actually going to hide that just so we can get that out of the play and focus on the gameplay. There you go. It's much better. So it's not like smooth, like it doesn't feel like extremely smooth or anything. But yeah, like if you try to mess with this guy real quick, just for science, he's probably going to hit me or something. But it's going to affect him, so it's okay. It's self-defense, guys. It's fine. Probably. Okay, there you go. That's it. We're done. But it wasn't bad. It was pretty good. Pretty good even in combat. At least the feel of it. So it feels really nice with it disabled, with the VSync thing as I said disabled. feels very, very nice. So as long as this is staying above 60, like your overall frame rate with frame gen, I would say it's pretty good. Again, remember that this area is one of the most intensive areas. Like if you're looking here, oh, I've even dropped 57 there for a second. So this is one of the most intensive areas in the game. We're heavily CPU bound in this area. So you are going to see drops, no doubt. Oh, we actually see like, okay, looking from here, we actually see even more drops consistently. I even saw like 58 once again. 63. Okay, I'm sorry for pushing that person. Yeah, so that's quite something to keep in mind. Very, very nice though. Not bad at all. I would say it's very usable in this game and very playable too. Though I have noticed that with frame gen, I see a lot more kind of artifacting around Geralt's like head. And overall, when you're running too, especially when you're running, it's very noticeable around his hair and stuff, and around his sword. I'm not sure if it was the case before as well, like before the frame gen mod I installed it, but at least I wasn't noticing it much. But I might look at the footage again just to make sure, and maybe you'll have a little comment by the future me telling you about that. And I would say it's pretty cool, pretty good experience. I might even lock it like this, but the latency does make it kind of horrible to play with, honestly. But yeah, if you were maybe on the Steam Deck OLED, this could be pretty good, because it has a 90 hertz display, and a higher refresh rate with this could go a long way with the latency, even if you have VSync on and whatnot. So nonetheless, pretty good experience. So hey, let me know what you guys think about this, and what other game you would like me to test. And I'm still working on a few other games too. I have to get my hands on quite a few. So yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, consider liking, subscribing, and supporting me on my Patreon. That would help me so much, and I would appreciate that greatly with making more videos like this. And that's about it. Thanks for watching, and take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.